I hope you all had a wonderful week. Welcome to another episode of InfoScope. I'm your host, Hannah Kim. We are back once again this week with some of the latest stories from the IT and science world. Let's start off with some health news related to smoking and Alzheimer's disease, as well as research results showing how desirable working hours makes a healthier person, all on Briefing Scope. New research shows that a person who works just as much as he or she desires is healthier than someone who works more or fewer hours than desired. Workers who have an ideal schedule have a more positive health evaluation and also fewer cases of backaches, stomach aches, and other issues. Smoking is said to double the risk of getting colorectal cancer, while drinking does not significantly increase the cancer risk. Researchers have determined that smoking one pack of cigarettes every day from 5.5 years to 9 years will increase the risk of colorectal cancer by 1.35 times, and more frequent smoking will further increase that risk. Just under half of stroke cases among men under 45 have been attributed to smoking. 45% of all stroke cases were attributed to smoking, followed by hypertension at 29%. First colorectal cancer and now strokes, the risks associated with smoking are growing. A new report has been published stating that young people with the APOE4 gene, which is known to significantly increase the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease, face problems with their spatial memory. Researchers claim that this finding will help toward understanding the early steps of Alzheimer's disease, adding, however, that more research will be needed. A bigger emphasis is being put on personal health these days, especially with an aging population. Is there a way to prevent Alzheimer's disease and dementia? While catching early signs of such disorders is extremely difficult, new research shows that a sudden increase of activities while sleeping can be a sign of Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's disease. Let's find out more about this on Industry Inside.
A person with REM sleep disorder will become physically restless while sleeping. Normally, when we sleep, we will move very few muscles, even while dreaming. This is different from somnambulism or sleepwalking, which happens during a state of deep sleep. REM sleep disorder can be an early indication of degenerative conditions like Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's disease. A 10-year observation of REM sleep disorder patients by Korean researchers showed that 18% of the patients developed Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's disease 5 years after they began observation. This figure increased to 35% at the 6-year mark and 50% at the 10-year mark. An elderly person who has frequent nightmares or does odd physical actions in his or her sleep should see a specialist. REM sleep disorder has no connection with stress or personality. If any signs of the disorder are noticed, patients should seek treatment and receive periodic inspections for Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's disease. This one will be of interest to people who enjoy their outdoor activities, such as hiking in autumn or mountain climbing in winter. However, if you are not careful enough, injuries may be just around the corner for the feet. One of the best known ones is plantar fasciitis. The plantar fascia is a ligament that connects the heel to the toes. It acts as a spring absorbing shock to the sole of the foot. Excessive exercise will generate repetitive microdamages to the ligament, resulting in inflammation. There is a growing number of patients suffering from plantar fasciitis. According to the Health Insurance Review and Assessment Service, the number of patients suffering from plantar fasciitis went up from around 138,000 people in 2012 to 180,000 people in 2014, a 30% increase. One symptom of plantar fasciitis is significant pain when you attempt to walk after sitting down for a long time or when you get out of bed. In more severe cases, a patient will need either physical rehabilitation or surgery, but in most cases, stretching and cold packs will suffice. It's recommended to avoid shoes with thin soles and maintain a healthy weight so that your feet don't have to deal with excessive shock. The human body triggers a desire to eat about 4 hours after food has been consumed. This notification is caused by a hormone called ghrelin, generated by the stomach and the pancreas. However, there are times when a person wants to eat something, even though the stomach isn't empty. These moments arise when a person sees someone else eating or sees delicious food. This is fake hunger.
시상하부까지 자극을 주면 결국에는 그렐린이라는 공복 호르몬이라 그래서 먹어야 된다라는 걸 자극하기 때문에 음식을 보면 먹고 싶은 생각이 드는 거고.
This sensation of fake hunger also appears when a person is stressed. When you are stressed, the hormone cortisol is created, which also expedites the creation of ghrelin, making a person under stress seek food. A typical person living in an urban environment is exposed to a significant amount of stress. We need to be able to control our responses to these triggers to ensure healthy eating habits. This smartphone app allows users to order meals for delivery in a few clicks. Thanks to an excellent user interface and successful advertising, there are roughly 5.5 million users every month. This app has set the foundation for free navigation on smartphones. It provides customized services for users such as optimized routes, and the app was acquired by a major company. The success stories of Korean startups were introduced at the OECD Ministerial Meeting Daejeon 2015 World Science and Technology Forum.
서비스도 굉장히 중요하지만 그 서비스를 만드는 사람들이 더 중요하기 때문에 그 사람들이 어떤 생각들을 하고 일사불란하게 움직일 수 있는지에 대한 문화를 만드는 게 훨씬 더 중요하다고 생각해요.
Foreigners were very interested to hear the success stories.
They start up their business and what is the key success that they use in order to go into the global, as well as the issues or the problem that they have faced during their startup.
우리 영 이노베이터들이 이런 국제적인 무대에서 글로벌을 지향하는 어떤 창업을 할 수 있는 계기를 만들 수 있는 그런 자리가 아니었던가 이렇게 생각합니다.
We look forward to hearing more stories of people who succeed with unique and innovative startups in the near future. The recent Korean blockbusters Assassination and Veteran have broken the 10 million admission mark at home. In gunfights and car chase scenes, the audience experienced vivid sound effects in the theaters. This is the result of a surround sound system created by an SME, the company and the Electronics and Telecommunications Research Institute, which possesses the technology for lossless sound compression, jointly developed the sound system and succeeded in commercializing it in 3 years.
저희같이 이제 중소기업이 아이디어와 그리고 적은 연구 인력으로 출발을 할 때 어떻게 보면 CGV나 이런 메이저 영화를 하게 되는 것은 굉장히 큰 일이거든요. 그런 부분에 있어서 적극적으로 지원해 주신 부분이 현재의 결과를 이뤄낸 것 같습니다.
The government research institutes are providing customized technical and technological support to small and medium-sized enterprises, and the efforts are paying off. The Electronics and Telecommunications Research Institute registered roughly 1,800 instances of such support for 173 small and medium-sized enterprises over the past year. These companies saved about $10 million and reduced technology development times by 7 months. Technology levels have also gone up by around 20%.
상용화 현장 지원에 약 한 150개 기업을 꾸준히 지원해서 드디어 개별 기업에서 성과가 나기 시작했고.
The Electronics and Telecommunications Research Institute will establish 100 small and medium-sized enterprises over the next 5 years and increase total sales to $1 billion. This synergy between the government and smaller enterprises is beneficial to the Korean industry ecosystem, which needs more small giants.
Going off of that last story, if there are more small giants in Korea, there could be more new technologies and affordable products and services. Let's continue with some new developments made by Korean researchers which may hold great potential in the near future. Researchers have come up with a technology that can easily split water and oil, something that can be of immense use for oil spills in the ocean. Let's find out more in Take a Peek.
This capsule is only 100 millionths of a meter big. Placing the metallic material that covers the capsule into a mix of oil and water results in oil sticking to one side and water sticking to the other side. Water and oil are split in just 1 minute. The homegrown technology behind this capsule involves coating the surface of the capsule with a material that is hydrophilic, along with a material that is hydrophobic.
물질의 표면에 친수성과 소수성이 이제 같이 있는 게 아니라 단독 한 가지 종류만 있는 그런 물질들이 대부분 개발이 되어 왔었는데 이번에는 친수성과 소수성이 이제 같이 공존을 함으로써
The hydrophobic part of the metallic enclosure which repels water absorbs just the oil. The hydrophilic coating inside can also purify water, as there is a catalyst within the capsule that acts as a purifier. The metallic enclosure can be reused more than 20 times. The research team states that this nanocapsule can be effective in tackling wastewater and large-scale oil spills. Korean researchers have succeeded in developing a quantum dot solar cell that is non-toxic and features a higher degree of efficiency. A team led by the Institute for Basic Sciences Center for Nanoparticle Research head Hyun-taek Hwan and Ko-min Jae of the Korea Institute of Science and Technology has boosted efficiency and safety by replacing nanoparticles made from heavy metals with a toxic-free chemical alternative for the quantum dots in solar cells. Researchers created the toxic-free nanoparticles for quantum dots by placing them in photoelectrodes. A large-scale clinical trial is underway in England to see whether aspirin can inhibit the return of cancer. Foreign press agencies report that the clinical trial funded by Cancer Research UK and the National Institute for Health Research will involve some 11,000 cancer patients in about 100 health centers all over England. Researchers stated that the trial will last up to 12 years, during which patients of bowel, breast, prostate, stomach, and esophageal cancer will have received or are receiving treatment will be given either 100 milligrams of aspirin, 300 milligrams of aspirin, or placebo tablets every day for 5 years. A substantial amount of research has shown that aspirin is effective in preventing and treating some forms of cancer, such as colorectal, breast, and cervical cancer. One research team from the Netherlands announced that aspirin can increase the chances of survival for cancer patients by up to twice as much. However, the researchers advise cancer patients not to start taking aspirin, as there are numerous side effects such as internal bleeding and stomach ulcers.
That last story is so interesting. If this clinical trial confirms that aspirin has properties that will prevent the recurrence of cancer, then aspirin will be a cheaper and effective treatment option for patients. Well, this wraps up today's episode of InfoScope. We wish all the best to researchers in Korea and all over the world. And we'll see you next week with more interesting and informative news. Goodbye, everyone.